Welcome to the UDP broadcast, a podcast where a group of friends get together and talk about gaming-related topics and offer both informed and uninformed opinions. I'm your host, Luminary Weekly, and I'm accompanied today by my co-host, the Nordic Cajun.
Hello. Welcome to the big show.
This is the shiny Hisuian form. We have the eternal barcode Imi.
Hello, everybody. Someone get me Tim Hortons.
Stats. And from the Emerald
sponsored.
Dream and everywhere else, Raina, the Crit Chicken.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
I was looking for that. I can't find it.
Episode
That's fantastic.
Episode 52. Here we go. All four of us back in the saddle. New time. And but before we get started, we have some special information from Imi.
Yeah, so 10% of all the bit donations, subscriptions, and all that stuff go to the Trevor Project. And the Trevor Project is a wonderful organization that our wonderful friend Ping has some more details on.
The Trevor Project is the leading organization working to end LGBTQ youth suicide in the US and beyond. The non-profit operates several programs to help prevent and respond to the public health crisis of LGBTQ youth suicide, including 24/7 free crisis services, research, advocacy, education, and peer support.
Thank you, Ping.
Yay!
Always
Also-
need more ping.
Just a quick reminder that this is an opinion show and does not reflect the official company policies or views. So in other words, we're poor, we don't have any money, so please don't sue us.
Oh yeah, everything's from the back recesses of our brains. Like it's all opinions.
Yeah.
And just
Absolutely.
for a quick minor announcement for all of our American listeners right now, this is the first time we've changed times. This is going to be the new official time of the podcast. And tonight is the end of daylight savings time. We also fall back an hour. So
Great.
Oh wow!
I
So
did-
not only do we get you get extra sleep.
you get extra sleep. So I'd like to tell people about that because they always forget. I didn't know until I looked up at my calendar at work. I'm like, oh, that's tonight.
I had the discussion with my boss at work this week because it was a concern because it's a global company. I was like, am I going to work later or, just to keep the status quo or what's going on? So, yeah, no, it's certainly a concern. Don't forget, set your clocks at back an hour. I haven't had to set a clock back in forever.
Smart clocks are a thing everywhere, except for my microwave and my oven. They're still dumb.
Do you know what makes me feel better right now since I actually changed my shifts?
What's that?
Sleep.
See, I used to be night shift, and I was working last time we had daylight savings.
Ooh, that puts things into perspective. I bet
So
that
I had
really
a-
feels good.
I had a bonus hour of working without being paid for that.
Well, that's exciting.
That is no longer the case tonight.
Nope.
You are free, madam.
Yes.
Free to enjoy your new hour. Have one free hour on us.
Indeed. Okay, so topics. We've got, I really like what Cajun put forward today in the backstage chat. They all kind of tie together.
I helped.
They all kind of tie together. You want to go with Capcom first because you're a Street Fighter fan?
Yes, we'll start with. Actually, it's actually Xbox that does that. Well, they both kind of influence the fighting game community, but Xbox is the one that's really going to hurt a large chunk of their fan base. It has been deemed necessary by the powers that be over at Xbox and Microsoft that any unauthorized controllers and accessories plugged into their Xbox as of 11/12, so a week and some change, will no longer be able to be used on their systems. And when it's plugged into their system and is recognized as an unauthorized device, it will ban that device from that Xbox.
That's so stupid.
It's their reasoning. Their reasoning is what's really got my got my blood boiling. Their reasoning for wanting to do that. I was trying to think of something else to say, but that was the only thing that came to my mind for a funny joke. But my brain is not braining right now. recently we have feedback. It's because they think people are using modified controllers to cheat in popular online games like Call of Duty Warzone and Rainbow Siege, Six Siege. So
Really?
instead of putting in the systems in those individual games, you're just going to flat out ban everything.
My personal opinion on that, and like I said, my personal opinion on that is that it's a home. Okay, so I can imagine not bringing that to competition, right? I
If if they made decent products that actually were considered competition, sure. But everything else you can buy outside of Microsoft's little warehouse is infinitely better. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I didn't say anything.
When you said competition, I thought you had a. I thought you were
No,
following
no.
up on that.
So I mean, is this so? This is on the Xbox topic, right?
Yes.
So yeah, no, I mean, I think a lot of it is there's several different levels of quality. I mean, don't get me wrong, Xbox controllers are stupid expensive. They're like $70 full price,
Mhm.
US. That's like what, $300 Canadian or something.
Looks at Amy.
Anyway, it's probably like
That's our resident. We were looking for some information, my friend.
It's probably about $100 Canadian or something like that. So so they're already ass expensive, and finding alternatives to get your controllers and play the games that you love is certainly a thing. I think that
It's unnecessary because no matter what you do, cheaters are going to cheat. They're going to find a way around it. They're going to try to fight it, get away to get inside. Just punishing the many for the sins of the few has never worked out right.
No,
Ever.
it always fucks you over.
And
You as in like the company, not the players, because
it
players
screws,
vote with their wallets.
yeah, it screws the players over first, and then it screws you over. And at a point where Microsoft was actually starting to gain ground and looked a lot better than Sony in terms of their system, it's like we're finally getting in the good graces since forever ago. Let's ruin it all. Let's ruin the entire thing right now. Let's just open mouth and insert the whole leg all the way up to the ass. She can kiss her own ass.
so what's interesting is that in this article, it's not really giving us any examples of where having third-party controllers is a bad thing, and I don't think it's all third-party controllers. I know that like take for example Nintendo, right? You can't find Switch controllers or the Pro controller to save your life,
Nope.
right? At all. So you have to rely on the third-party resellers. I think for a while there, Nintendo opened that up during COVID because there was all kinds of stupid controllers out there. They were all kinds of broken. So perhaps maybe it's a quality control measure. Like for example, on the developer side, whenever you put applications on the Microsoft Store, like the app is vetted 100%. You can't upload garbage to that store.
Correct.
Right. I mean, if you ever taken a look at Google Play or the Apple Store, it's just shovelware everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I don't know. It baffles me why that decision was made, and I'm looking to see what else is going to come out of that. And
The biggest pain, like it automatically supports what Amy was saying about how it affects the company and the players so quickly. Maximilian Dude, he's one of the biggest. I'm going to say it as it is, one of the biggest vocals and names out in the fighting game community ever. He's single-handedly one of the people that spearheads all the hype and all the momentum behind most video games because people trust his opinion. He's just a genuine good guy. He got on Twitter the moment he found out about this, and I'm going to go ahead and quote it. He says, "Hey, Xbox, Matt Booty, the guy who's HR and all that good stuff over there at Xbox, this is essentially a death sentence for local fighting game events that run on Xbox, much less others that can only afford one arcade stick. The Brook Gaming fans converters are not cheating devices. They're a huge boon for the fighting game community. Please reconsider. The Brook, the converters allows you to plug it straight into the Xbox, and no matter like what fighting stick you have, it automatically syncs it up to where you could use it on the Xbox. It allowed a wider array of people to be able to play that otherwise wouldn't. You're basically telling these people who spent money on this arcade stick, which aren't cheap. I have two of them, and that's probably the most I'm ever going to have in my entire life because they range from anywhere from the cheapest one, around $60, ranging to the thousands of dollars, depending on how detailed and how quick you want the buttons to react. And you're telling these people that they were able to scavenge enough money for this device, but because somebody was cheating on something that's not even affecting that game, they were cheating on Warzone and Rainbow Siege 2, you're going to punish everybody else because you want to have absolute control over your intellectual property. I understand cheaters suck. I play on PC. Happens all the freaking time. They have measures for those cheaters. Punishing people who are just trying to use your system ain't it.
Well,
And
I think what it is that they're trying to do, they're trying to get it as licensed hardware partners. That's where the key of this is. Remember how I told you quality control is key here? You just can't go buy a shit stick, right?
well, that's unfortunate. That's what a lot of these kids have to use. The fighting game community, it ain't all expensive and glamorous. Like a lot of these kids scratch together enough money just to buy that low end stick, and to tell them they can't do it because it's not officially licensed, and you're going to try to push your own licensed stuff, where probably is going to cost twice as much as the stick that kid just bought. No,
Well, I mean, considering like on the low end that you were talking about, $60 for a stick. I mean, an Xbox controller is 70,
right.
75. So, I mean, is it really on par? I mean,
When you have to, if you've already spent the $60, and if I guarantee you, there's no planet where Microsoft is going to develop a fighting stick less than $120 minimum.
They won't develop a fighting stick. They developed an Xbox controller. The licensed partners will develop the stick.
And even then, though, if it's like an outdated version, if you plug that in and it doesn't meet the criteria, it could get banned too. There's so many ways this could go wrong for Xbox, and it's terrible.
Typically, if the stick is licensed, and goes for like Sony and everything else, if it's licensed by the hardware developer, it will remain as playable. I mean, unless there's something that emerges after they release their hardware that like breaks all kinds of stuff and wipes your Xbox and turns your wife inside out, right? Unless there's something like game breaking where they have to like ban whatever developer ID that's being used on the hardware to power that stick. I mean, at that particular point, I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence of I think that all peripherals should be able to be used anywhere you want as long as they're following the protocol that is set out by the hardware manufacturer, and the application programmer's interface, the hardware programmer's interface is interfaced with correctly, and it responds accordingly within parameters. Like, if you can do that, make whatever the hell you want, right? Like I'm my brother. I've talked about my brother before. Yeah, he's paralyzed on half his body. There is Ben Heck. You ever heard of that guy?
Not the top of
He
my head.
makes
No.
he makes one-handed controllers for paraplegics.
Oh,
Right.
that's awesome.
Here's the other side of it. He also charges $450 for that controller.
That's not awesome.
It's not awesome, but he's also pretty much cutting an Xbox controller in half, adding on a thumbstick on the bottom, doing a lot of like hardware manipulation. But he's also using all the boards from the original Xbox controller. He's just moving where the thumbstick is and how you interface with like the right side or left side of the thing. So, I'm guessing hardware development is expensive, especially if you're doing that kind of modding and whatnot. So,
Well, that also goes into the effect of people who make their own sticks. My buddy Anthony out in Houston, he makes his own sticks all the time.
Nagroku?
Yes, he's made normal sticks, and he's made hitbox sticks where it's the new crave, where it's just all buttons. You don't have a joystick anymore. You hit the buttons like you hit on a normal gamepad, but it's arcade buttons, and it's very, very cool. And it's not new, but he made his own. And people do that. People get in there and they customize their own gear, customize their own stuff. So unless Microsoft goes to the level of putting out an entire list of developers, like you could only use these parts to make your stick, it's going to make all these people who make their custom gear and sell their own custom gear obsolete.
Ask Nagroku next time you talk to him if he used original Xbox parts to customize his stick, or if he used like the adaptive controller to build it out, because the adaptive controller would allow you to put buttons wherever you want it to and react how you want it to.
Oh, he made the whole thing from scratch. Like he
Okay. Check with him, because unless he's breadboarding all kinds of stuff, he had to use something, right?
I'm talking to him after this podcast, we're going to do some stuff. So I'll ask him.
Because I'm really interested in how he, on that, and I love maker stuff, so I'm just more interested to like, hey, Cajun, can you ask him?
Can you tell me the secret sauce? I want to know.
Yeah.
I want to know. Yeah, I'll talk to him. I'll ask him.
Well, we were talking about competitions, Cajun. Nintendo now has new rules on their on low level competitions.
Ooh, this is butter in my biscuits because it doesn't only affect smaller tournaments. It could affect bigger tournaments too. In the way they described it, they started off the typical Nintendo way. They're all smiling at you and telling you how happy you are, you're a customer, and we're glad you're supporting us over the years. But they have the but hiding right behind their teeth. They're like, but we about to change some stuff. Like it started off with, thank you for sharing the passion for Nintendo's games, characters, and world. Nintendo cares about the community, bullshit, and would like to support individuals who want to celebrate their passion by creating memorable, cooperative, competitively playing experience. Also bullshit, because we know they've been against it ever since Melee. Anyway, let me just go down the list of how these small scale and not commercial, English, Nord, calm down. The community
Nordlish.
yes, the community tournament is small scale and not for commercial profit is their first bullet point. Which, to be fair, 9 times out of 10 people who run these tournaments lose money. There's no profit to be made for these smaller things. These are for people coming out and having fun. Let's just put that out there. We're not talking about the big boys about like Evo and all these other big tournaments yet. This is just the little guys who get together and make a little tournament. So let's see. The tournament's guidelines say that they cannot generate commercial revenue except as permitted by these guidelines, which there's a laundry list coming down here. Entry fees from the participants may be used to cover the cost of that. At least they're kind enough to let you use the same money. No prize may exceed the market value of $5,000 in total, or include the prohibited item list in Q7. Oh, that's a whole lot of stuff I'm not going through. I'm going to hit the highlights.
Yeah. Give us the highlights.
Well, $5,000 that's a lot of money for any tournament. I think that was the average for Melee back in the day. I think they've got it up a little bit higher now when they did Smash Brothers at Evo. So I'd be surprised if any of these small tournaments were making that kind of money to be able to give out. But they've also made it to where they want to include a small pool of only 200 participants, or up to 300 participants on an online tournament. That's not a small tournament. That's not a small tournament. That is a medium to almost large size tournament in most venues. That's a lot of people playing the game.
That sounds like a local fan favorite competition that has been around for at least 5+ years that people know about. That's how you can fill out those 200 seats. But I can't imagine like if IME Crit, you and I were just like, yo, check this out. We're gonna do Smash tournament with whatever, and it's gonna be here and so forth and so on. How many people do you think are gonna show up? It's probably just gonna be us 4.
Right.
I'd have to get into playing console.
Yeah. 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 Good luck.
That the tournaments can't charge more than $15 per person to even cover the cost.
Are they trying to make tournament? They're like notaries now. Like,
well, this one really stuck out to me. The organizer cannot make they can make promo videos and stuff for their tournaments. They are not allowed to make more than $10,000 off the revenue for your tournament or anything you did on YouTube or anything like that. So any revenue you would get from YouTube, it cannot exceed over $10,000 over a 12-month period.
What?
Yeah.
How are you supposed to raise money for tournament prize pools?
You're seeing the what I'm talking about. Because of course you have to use some of the things make sense. You need to use actual hardware and actual games, no pirated versions, yada, yada, yada. That stuff makes sense. But here's my question. How are they going to actually enforce this? I want to get y'all's opinions on this. How do you think they're actually going to enforce these kind of rules against smaller or even larger tournaments that have bigger scales than this? Because good luck getting Evo to have a tournament if they have to abide by these rules.
Well, I'm pretty sure there's been lawsuits for stuff like that. Nintendo's like super protective of their IPs. and having a non-Nintendo backed competition making money off of Nintendo stuff is a no-no, and we experienced that over the years. We've talked about it on this podcast. Remember the fucking from
Yeah.
Nintendo, where everybody was
Mhm.
like, we're not doing Nintendo stuff anymore. You guys can go eat a dick," and their partner program pretty much fell flat.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, "We want 50% of your revenue." Right. And YouTube already takes a huge ass cut of your revenue. And they were like, "Yeah, we want half of that. You can have what's left." And that which was just devastating for Nintendo content creators. But this kind of it feels like it kind of falls in the same line of they're trying to control quality while lining their pockets. And all kinds of weird decisions have come from Nintendo. And I don't think that's just Nintendo of America. I think that is Nintendo Global, spearheaded by Japan because they can do those kind of things there. And on that note, there was an RPG that was released from a Japanese developer that put their players in debt.
Yeah, that's just fucking dumb. So the short version is
I need
you
to pull this.
release.
I need to pull this up so I can be on par when we're talking about this.
Yeah, no worries. So the short version is you decide, hey, this gotcha game that I've had running in Japan forever, I now want to, release globally. Great, fine, whatever, great, who cares? So then you decide the freemium currency, you're going to set it at whatever level of payment you want. But then when it expands outside of Japan and worldwide people start picking up this game and they realize it's a good deal on the freemium currency, you realize it's a bad idea because now you're quote unquote losing money. The only way, of course, to solve this is by taking everyone's freemium currency they've earned, not purchased, but earned throughout the game, take it all away and purposely put everybody in debt to basically pay back your fuck up as a company.
I hate to say it, it's already a free to play game, and I will just freely not play it.
Well,
Mhm.
exactly. Like, so originally, where was it here? Originally, you would earn, at level 4, you would earn 500 crystals. I guess that's their freemium currency. And at level 5, you would earn an additional 1,000 crystals. Then they realized maybe that's too much free currency. So then they said, well, it's actually only supposed to be 100 crystals at level 4 and 250 at level 5. So 1/4 the amount. So what they did was they took everyone's currency away and made everybody go into debt, and now people have to work thousands of hours to get back that currency unless they paid for it.
I mean, like other games, they have different servers, so I don't understand why they couldn't just make another character in another server, or at least make that a possibility.
Well, it's your account goes into debt, right?
Gotcha.
So this is the funny thing. The Steam reviews are amazing because this game is not only on mobile, it's also available on Steam. Taming RPG Ecstasy released a week early on other platforms, and due to a underlined developer mistake, early adopters were put in a premium currency debt after the dev nerfed rewards without prior notice. This means that any new premium currency that is gained while in debt will disappear from your inventory until this debt is quote unquote settled. And this person actually went ahead and linked the tweet from the company. Another wonderful review is Absolute Debacle of a launch released on other platforms earlier after players were essentially rug pulled 7 days into its lifespan for mistake on the developer's end. For those unaware, basically every active player in the game was penalized for a global exclusive system oversight that awarded players very generous amounts of currency for maxing out bonds or trust with their acquired units. On November 1st, 2023, a sudden maintenance period was initiated, which resulted in them changing the values behind the trust system and the developers stating that the original numbers weren't intended, despite everything in the game informing players otherwise.
I don't understand why they would want to do that to their players. It's literally nothing. I think Jim Stephanie Sterling has always preached like they are finding ways to sell you nothing at a premium. And in this particular case, they're losing nothing on these crystals, right? I mean, okay, so they're $8,000 crystals ahead. Once it's spent, you change the underlying system and tell the player base, hey, okay, so check this out. This was a mistake. We're letting you keep your crystals, but this is where we are for right now. But some of the prices on here, I think it was like thousands of dollars in just currency that they would have to repay. It would take years to pay back.
Why is it
Or
the
you
player's
could just-
problem?
Or you can just hit uninstall.
Exactly, but
Well,
that's the thing. Like,
but
people
Cajun,
spent hours.
I know,
on this game.
I know, but yeah, I understand it being a thing. Like you've dedicated. That's like me going when I was deep into League of Legends, and I had all of these skins and all these champions that I bought with their Riot points. Then all of a sudden, they said, "Oh, we're changing our Riot points to Riot dollars," and it's like everything you've bought before, you're now negative in that account. That would
and the global
freaking-
fair market value is much lower on these. So now you owe us Riot dollars.
Yes,
So-
I'll be like, free to play. So no, that's a lot of money.
So I just pulled up the game on Steam. Out of 265 reviews, only 10% are positive. It is fucking Lilith. What the fuck is wrong with you? People putting your fan base in more debt than the American education system.
Oh, that's ooh.
Damn!
We
Got him.
need the gnome noise for that one. Jeez.
Oh,
Yep.
I got you. I got you.
Oh, it's,
Just finished my daily 18-hour shift at the Lilith Crystal Mines to pay off 0.000001% of my debt. Maybe someday I can afford to see my waifu, random name I can't pronounce again. I hope she's doing okay.
Lord
God
almighty.
damn.
yeah, they're capitalizing on the fact they have addicts for their game. So obviously, it's a well-developed game, and it has a following, and people are liking to play it. And it is a big boob waifu gotcha game, like it's every weeb stream, right? So
Hey.
US
what?
speedrun any percent.
You know what? I don't mind the booba games. Isn't
Yeah,
that
but
right,
I'm sure you would
Jaime?
mind a booba game that put you in debt so you couldn't really progress until you paid off a debt that was arbitrarily imposed on you by the developers because they fucked up.
the content that you own that you have purchased rights to use that is owned by the developer is being held hostage.
Oh no, it's not that you purchased any purchase currency was not touched by this.
Oh.
It's that if you earned the currency, they were taking that away.
How do they make that distinction? I mean, you said premium currency. It didn't say what the actual premium currency is. I'd say other thing too. I hate multi-currency freaking systems. They're dumb.
Well, I'm pretty sure they can look at the accounts and see what you've paid money-wise, and then say, okay, that equates to this amount of currency. So in your account, if you have this much and you paid for that much, we'll subtract that much from this much to equal your debt that you now owe us.
And typically, most of these gacha games do have two different currencies. Even most free to play games do. Like back to the Riot thing, they have Riot points which you purchase, and then they have this blue essence currency you can use that you earn as you play games. So they probably do have two different ones. The freemium being another name, and then Taima crystals is the ones that you can buy.
Well, in Riot's defense, they've always separated out that items you couldn't ever pay to win. So all of the back in the day when you and I were playing, early 2010, 11, 12, somewhere around there, right?
All
Like
my debt slaves unite.
Well, in Riot's never been pay to play. It's 100% aesthetic.
right.
Some of these games, like there's no way to progress except to buy the stuff. I'm looking at you, Diablo Immortal.
Oof.
You ever notice nobody cared about the secret cow level in that game?
It's sad.
Like,
No, that's usually the highlight of the game, but everybody's
Don't
like,
you
nah.
people have cell phones?
Oh, no.
Way to steal my joke again. I was gonna save that for later, but you don't check your Twitter, so
Well, speaking of the
Immediately
Blizzard,
checks Twitter.
I know Lumi and especially Critter. I want to say excited about the next year coming up with Blizzard.
I mean, I'm already excited for what they did right now. I mean, shit.
yeah,
I
no,
literally,
Excuse my we're talking about secret cow levels. I got freaking angry chickens on my side.
Oh, that's right, the Warcraft Rumble. I've only played a little bit of it. I didn't even get my double pack awards. I just got one because I had to work.
Yeah, I
But
literally just installed it before I got home.
No, did you
what?
see how many people I killed with those chickens?
Nope.
Be like that meme, like look at all those chickens.
What the hell did you link me?
Oh, the
I
slap.
Yeah, so apparently slapping contests like arm
Yes.
wrestling contests and boxing matches is a thing where you play
Uh-huh.
so I thought slappy face was something drunk army guys did.
No, there's a whole ESPN sport, my guy.
God damn. This guy
Like,
got knocked the fuck out getting bitch slapped the
That's-
next week.
that's why I commented that dude it went night night.
Yeah.
That's what happens when I bring up Twitter, Oops.
God damn. Slightly derailed.
I'm sorry.
Oh man, it was
I guess you
amazing.
could say he got some sense slapped into him.
Oh,
Maybe.
Somebody had to say it. Somebody
So-
had to.
So I remember it was being talked about earlier last week. Remember how I pointed out, I was like, "What the hell is this Warcraft Rumble crap?" And you were like, I don't know what that is." And the next thing I know, Crit's like blasting pictures of her blowing people up and stuff on the
I am
chickens,
the crit chicken.
pretty much. And I was like, "Okay, now I got to go check this thing out." And I did, and it ain't bad.
it's better than the Diablo game, and that's what I was gonna say. Like, don't you guys have cell phones? Like, yes, I do, and I know what I'm playing, and it's not freaking Diablo.
No.
And I'm not playing it on PC right now either.
I don't even know how to classify it. Is it like an auto battler? Because it's not an auto chess battle.
It reminds me of Clash of Clans.
Either that or like Dota or something like that or League.
Yeah,
maybe.
it does have lanes, and it's very but except
Does it really?
Yeah.
Yes.
I only saw the tutorial. I don't know what's in there.
Well,
yet.
you also don't directly control what direction any of the characters are going. You just tell them where to start, and you can control them with little panels that are on the ground, and you can like change their pathing and whatnot.
Well, you can drop let's say you have Nomelia, you could drop her on a location, she just walks around or whatever, but that you can't exactly control where they're going.
Oh
but
yeah, I got Onyxia eggs. I'm able to drop that anywhere, and they remain eggs until they're touched by the enemy, and then they turn into whelps. Many whelps.
I do have to admit the intro
More
video.
dots.
More dots. We need more dots. The intro video, I instantly love the little crack addicted gnome.
Yeah, I'm Nomelia.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, he's adorable. I want her.
And then
I want her and put her in my pocket.
no, you can actually get her after you beat Hogger. You can get her as a battle pet in World of
Hogger?
Warcraft.
He can't touch World of Warcraft. Panda will turn into World of Ex-Wife if that happens.
That was a dark time of our lives. I was thoroughly addicted. There's a reason why I used to joke and call it World of Warcraft. Because that's
it still is.
That's all I did.
Absolutely.
I mean, think about it this way too. So not only did they announce a new expansion, no. They announced a saga, a three-tier saga, starting with the the War Within.
Bruh.
I was curious of where they were gonna go after Cataclysm, so I'm glad to see there's actually they're figuring things out.
Oh, they do have it all figured out because we're not even, I don't think we're halfway through their quote unquote prophecy that the old god was bringing up. There's a whole old god that actually kind of has like this cryptic Nostradamus kind of thing going out there, and let's just say things that are happening right now aren't exactly what they seem.
Oh, neat. All I know is that I remember watching the TikTok of Asmongold reacting to Chris Metzen talking about it, and it just sounds so neat. Of course, Chris Metzen is great at delivering compelling presentations, and this is just one of them. He's like, "All right, I got you, fam. Check this out." And with him at the helm of creative directing and whatnot, when he returned to Activision Blizzard, bruh.
I mean, he is the war chief, so.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. And we've got the War Within, Midnight, and what was the last one, Crit? The Last Titan.
Yeah.
So, and I think they were talking about the the War Within, I think is what it was. That one is going to focus on the bug people. The noob, isn't that right? The noob, I can't pronounce their damn names.
The
Noob.
Anubis?
Nerubians.
Yes, the
The
Nerubians.
Rubians.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
and apparently we're getting new allied races, and
I
it's
wonder if
like
they're bugs.
no, earthen dwarves. So you'll have dwarves with like crystals sticking out of their bodies, and the body type 2 is actually getting facial hair.
Well, let me ask you this: Are there going to be gnome druids yet,
I don't
or
know, but
goblin druids?
I'm waiting on blood elf druids. I'm waiting. I'm begging. I am screaming and clucking for please, please.
Yeah.
No, but
Yeah. No,
I've been
that sounds really good. Go ahead.
I've been really like hoping that they'd have blood elf druids for like years now. I'm like, how the heck can you have, all these different people, trolls being druids and, night elf mages? Like, come on, you freaking banned Illidan into like the shadow realm because he wanted to dabble in the arcane, you know.
Yeah.
Because lore. That'd be their excuse. This is why.
Yeah.
I just think they're just like mocking me at this point. They're like, "Oh, you want blood elf druids? It's obvious that it could be a thing, but let's be realistic here."
I don't know. I still want my small race hamster tanks. I really do. I would play
Like
a
have like a
goblin.
hamster and like a little rolly wheel.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, and the cat form will be like the little fluffy kittens with the short stack legs.
Oh yes, those are adorable.
Hmm.
That's their mount.
But their travel form, the one that's on the ground, that one has to be like Sonic the Hedgehog. They just got to put that in there. That's all there is to it.
No, I can imagine that as being travel form, the little short kittens or whatever, and all you see is like this little cloud just dashing across the open world.
Yeah, there's so much opportunity there. It really is.
I love that video clip.
Aside from that, anything else you're excited about? If not, we can talk about the season of Discovery or whatever that is.
Oh yeah, season of discovery coming after season of mastery, and so I mean, they're doing a lot. I think I'm still letting everybody kind of like wind down from BlizzCon because that's kind of like closing out soon. Um, but just the idea of like a warlock being able to tank is interesting. I'm curious as to what route they're gonna go with that.
Yeah, no, like I'm super curious on what they're going to do with that because it sounds like
I
they're breaking
mean,
their own
if a
progression
if a
system.
if a shadow priest can be a tank or an off tank, I'm sure a warlock can find a way.
If I, even if they let me be like an undead paladin, I'd be happy.
Oh, that would be so awesome.
They'd be like, "Well, don't you just go play Death Knight?"
It's called I can role play as the Scarlet Crusade.
Ooh.
Oh, bruh.
Go
Yeah.
into like Scarlet, no, not yeah, Scarlet Monastery had, but Stratholme, living quarters.
That's cool. I like that idea. Yeah, Blizzard, get on that. That might help me. That might bring me back secretly. Maybe.
Oh, you're like closet playing WoW.
Yeah.
That's oh
Well,
man.
you already know that like the light is already in certain undeads. You have Kalia Menethil. She's light forged. And then you also have priests, which they can harness light. So
Yeah. Oh, it makes
what
sense to me.
what's stopping them if, undeads were former humans that
Mm.
could also be paladins? Yeah, lore.
Yeah,
There you go.
they didn't tell you how they were going to accomplish it. They did say that it's going to be in WoW class. It's going to be a WoW classic type server, right? So
Yeah.
they're capping it at level 25. And then once you hit 25, they're giving you one raid, which was Blackrock, I think is what they said.
No, not Blackrock. Black Fathom.
Black Fathom, right? So giving you Black Fathom to go raid for a bit.
Kumai.
Yeah, and after that, they'll raise it again another 10 levels or something like that, give you a new raid. So they're going to try to push it through that way. I'm really curious as to what it is they're going to do with it. So, yeah, no, like I'm looking, I can't wait.
So, Imi, do you want
You.
to be your coveted warlock tank? I will let you.
Maybe we'll see.
I
I don't
like
know. I
how
haven't been
I like
interested
how
in WoW in a long time. Like,
I would-
Dragonflight just killed it.
Well, we're not going into Dragonflight. We're going back to the basics. We're going back to classic. And if I have to start farming gold again, I will.
The
Yeah, it was
manual
just
gold
like the
farming.
constant grind, though. It was just like, nah, I'm done.
Well, we could just do it casually.
True.
Yeah, we could be filthy casuals because that's the only way I'm going to play it. So as long as I can be a
Hey
filthy
guys,
casual.
do you want to do a dungeon after the podcast? Sure.
Yeah.
we'll be ending early enough to do so.
Just yeah.
We get our post podcast get good moment and
Do you want to do a dungeon during the podcast? Raina, what's going on? Why aren't you healing?
I'm
Uh,
talking. I'm thinking. Stop.
oh no, that's my push to talk button.
There's here. So we got the something of I forget it's something of Discovery, Age of Discovery. No, Season of Discovery. We've got Season of Discovery coming up. We've got the new X Pack announcement, 3 of them. There was other things. Oh, the progression servers. Are they going to maintain a Wrath of the Lich King, a classic, and a Cataclysm server? I'm not
I
sure exactly how they're doing all of that.
think some people will stay in Wrath, but I think a majority are hopping over to um once I think the Lich King is downed or something like that, or the Forge of Souls and stuff like that are taken care of. I don't foresee a lot of people staying in Wrath. I think they're probably going to move on to Kata because you have what is it? Wasn't there like Terragosa's staff? I don't know. I forget. But Cataclysm has like the fun raids like Spine of Deathwing and all those dailies around Hyjal where you get to beat Ragnaros's ass for the second time.
Oh yeah.
I never got to fight him the first time.
I,
I
I,
was the definition of a filthy casual. I would go and do like raids, not raids, but just regular dungeons and go do dailies and stuff. I never was able to get into a guild and dedicate time to do raiding, so I never got to kill like Onyxia or any of them.
well, they do. They have a pug system now, and the pug system's not bad.
That's how I leveled up all of my tunes. I'm not doing quests. I'm just gonna just spam dungeons, and that got me through many tunes.
There's going to be cross-realm guilds coming in the War Within expansion, which is probably good for a lot of the world PvP people because now they actually can do a lot of their ops or whatever in guilds, which is interesting. I'm wondering if they're going to increase the cap on guilds though.
Like
If it's gonna be
member cap.
Yeah. Because if it's going to be cross realm,
they're gonna have to.
yeah.
Oh, cross realm. I thought you were talking cross faction. They're already doing.
No, they do
cross
that
faction.
too. They do that too. But I'm just,
SGI will never have seen so much use in its existence.
But at least with Discovery and Classic in general, and Cataclysm, you don't have to worry about the cross-faction stuff or the cross-realm and stuff like that. That's just pure. Pure.
Well, cool. I might actually come back because I need to. Well, I don't really care about rejoining Division 7. Those guys are cool and whatnot. But if I'm going to be in Classic, I mean, I'm just going to be in Classic. So,
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, so there's that. I know that they notice how we didn't bring up the Diablo expansion they announced.
Yeah, there's something.
The only reason why I know that exists is because it was a link under one of the topics for tonight. I was like, oh, they actually did that too? Cool.
I forgot I even bought the game, honestly.
Well, it exists. Apparently, they're going back to the swamps where you fight Mephisto and the origin of the Witch Doctor. There's going to be a new class to play. More fapping. Yeah. So, there you go.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot between the Kata stuff, the War Within, the new expansions coming after that. the lore that's coming along with that, the prophecies that are being fulfilled. Dragon riding?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's coming to Azeroth.
What?
Yeah, next
You'll actually be able
expansion.
to fly around properly and not waste your time
Yeah.
on. See, the other thing is, like, maybe they should just make the mounts as fast as dragon riding.
You know,
Because it's like, I have a bajillion of flying mounts, but if dragon riding is faster, why the hell would I use a normal mount?
yeah.
Aesthetics.
I want my rocket ship to go mock stupid.
Yeah,
My
I'm
friendship rocket.
I'm really upset they didn't make all 400 mounts or whatever it is they have in the game, dragon riding enabled. I was really pissed that I couldn't ride my favorite mounts in the I forgot the name of the place now, where all the dragon people live. Yeah, no, I was really pissed. I was like, well, fuck, I got to ride this weird dragon, derp dragon, around. And
The rental dragon.
well, you could upgrade it, and there's customers. There's like a tune you go to, you can customize. Like, I would like an extra plate on its head, please, and you can like armor it out. And some of it can be pretty badass, and it's unlocked with achievements and events and whatnot. But I just didn't like the design of those dragons. I would have much preferred to ride around on my fairy dragon that I purchased. Right? You know, the one
or
that
my
changes
two-headed
colors.
dragon.
Oh,
We'll
like
see what
the one
they
with the jetpack on the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got that one too.
I would love that to be going mock stupid.
Yeah.
But no, I'm not allowed. Me.
I think they might be implementing dragon riding or dynamic flight, which I think dynamic flight would be kind of like dragon riding. So druids are getting dynamic flying for that one, and I think they're going to probably do that with similar mounts in general
Oh, nice.
that can fly. You're not going to see like, a core hound being like, yeah, dynamic flying, yeah.
I mean, a flying corehound would be funny.
Sorry.
No,
Derailed. Yeah, there's nothing important happening in Diablo. Like seriously, they have like what, a new expansion?
We went
Okay.
from disease and now we have vampires. Yay! Oh, expansion, cool.
Yeah, except for the fact that we actually had that in World of Warcraft, and now we actually have now I guess the classes and their specializations have their own forms, like Sang Lane and stuff like that. So yeah, as a Death Knight, you can be a vampire too.
Vampire Death Knight would be kind of fun, though.
You had me at vampire.
Oh no, Cajun's gonna be single. Shit.
No, guys, I have a lot of free time on my hands. You already gonna raid?
Well, speaking of raid, we're getting close.
Shadow Legends.
Oh,
We're getting close to that time. Cajun and I are still determining what the hell it is we're doing this week. Probably going to be shiny hunting the Kitakami specific versions of Pokemon in Violet and Scarlet.
You're definitely going to be getting the exclusives for each other, like the Kitakami versions and the Paradox versions. And there's a couple other ones in the normal Paldea that we can look into. But just to cover those bases, that way, when we do shiny hunt, we have all the same mon, and it's not the whole Drifloon situation again.
Mm-hmm.
And though I do want to announce that we finally reached our goal for 250 followers on my Twitch channel. So we've unlocked the Ironmon Shiny Challenge going down on November 21st. 8 hours, 5 Switch titles, 1 shiny in each, or I face the deadly Hot Chip Challenge.
The Pocky One Chip?
Yep.
I have to tune in for that. Like,
You're like, I don't want you to win, I want to watch.
well, let's see here. You said on the 21st. Let me see what day that is, because if I'm working, I can probably have you running in the background, except for when I'm in meetings.
I believe that's a Tuesday. Yes, it's a Tuesday.
Wait, this month or next month?
This month.
This month.
So,
Okay, because the 21st, I have a certain barcode to pick up at an airport.
Oh, good. You can throw it on your Bluetooth in the car, and they can hear Cajun sit there going.
No, but I'm on 21st of December, so.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no, you'll be fine then.
Yeah.
So Tuesday, November 21st,
For
the
me,
Cajun Shiny Iron Man Challenge or Face the Pocky One Chip Challenge.
Dun 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 dun.
Yeah, you said 21st, and I'm just like, oh. that
Now,
day.
now let me. I have a secret weapon that I'm going to have with me on the 21st.
Milk.
No, Harrison's off because of school. So if I get desperate, I'm
Oh.
like, Shiny Charm, come sit. And he'd be like, okay.
Why don't you come sit next to Daddy so that way I don't have to eat the nasty one chip? Yeah, no, I got it.
Knowing him, he'll want to watch me eat that one chip because he likes to see Dad suffer.
Mhm.
So
Make sure he
No,
doesn't
but-
stand anywhere near you because as you crunch into that thing, it's just going to spray hot bullshit everywhere.
I
And
am
wear
literally.
gloves.
I was gonna say I'm literally bringing gloves from work and I'm gonna have them ready to roll. I'm not getting my eyes anywhere near that danger because I wear contacts. I would like to remove them that night.
Well, I do know that one chip challenge caused me to go pick up one of my kids from school.
I remember that.
Apparently, it was a rite of passage that they had to go through, and it was his turn for the one chip challenge. And he was like,
they all sat there with the dark robes and like, oh, it's not in the
he
dark."
lasted 15 minutes, which I think is what, no, it's 15 minutes is the target. I know that if you do
Yeah,
more, you get certain titles, but
Yeah, they have different times. Like if you have, it's like 1 minute, 5 minute, 10 minute, 30 minute, and then an hour.
yeah, he did half an hour. But I got a call from the nurse's office, and he was just like, Dad, can you come pick me up? I was like,
I'm
what's going on?
dying.
I was like, he's like, get the nurse's to help you. I'm in the nurse's office. I don't feel good. I did the one chip challenge. And before this, he was telling me over Discord, I did the one chip challenge. I lasted 30 minutes. Yeah, but when I got there, it looked like he was talking to God, right? Like, his face was just pouring with sweat. He's like, and I looked at the nurse, was like, and I looked at him, I was like, so what did we learn? And he goes, oh, I'm never doing that again. It's like, good. Did you at least get a recording of it? And he goes, no. And the nurses, they were like, I told you should have recorded that.
that right there is TikTok, YouTube, and anything gold. He should have recorded that.
I took him to Brahms, got him a vanilla milkshake, and that kind of simmered everything down. But yeah, no, like
Dude,
just
milkshakes do so good with that kind of crap. Oh my god, you remember the
Oh.
burger I did on Instagram? That
You
thing was
guys-
hot, but they had a cheesecake.
what's up,
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna bring up. Did you know that they're changing the talent, the I guess the specs, right? The hero specs, rather than being like a Blood Death Knight, a Frost Death Knight,
Mhm.
or Marksman Hunter and stuff like that. Have you read the whole entire list?
I have not.
Okay. Do you want me to go through the whole entire list?
Pick out the ones that are important to you. Yeah, go
Let's
with-
see.
That's priest or druid, I think, right? Or well, no, there's not going to be any demon hunter.
There's a lot of stuff. I mean, there's rogues have the Death Stalker. You have paladins that have Lightsmith, Herald of the Sun, and the Templar, which is going to be interesting. Like if a prot paladin is a Templar, or let's see. You have a hunter. You can have Dark Ranger. Druid would be Keeper of the Grove, Elion's Chosen, Wild Stalker, Druid of the Claw. Death Knight is Rider of the Apocalypse. So you can be one of the four horsemen. Haha.
Ah.
Sand Lane and Deathbringer. But there's it's no longer like Elemental Shaman. It's no longer Restoration Shaman. It would be like Stormbringer, Farseer, and Totemic. And, it's just,
Kind of like how the Pandaren are like the monks are like Mistwalkers and Dragon Fists. It'd be like different names like that.
no. Those are going to be Master of Harmony, Shadowpan, and Conduit of the Celestials.
Oh, they're changing everything. My bad. I
Yes.
didn't mean to talk. I apologize.
Yes. So,
I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I'm just
No,
trying to
no,
play
you're
World of
good.
Warcraft in 10 years.
no, I like it because at least you don't have to worry about, oh, we have a Restoration Druid. Oh, we have a Restoration Shaman. No, we have what is it? I guess it would be Keeper of the Grove and a Farseer Shaman.
That does sound better than just Resto and crit chickens, I guess.
Yeah, so I guess it would be a Wild Stalker.
Gotta change
I'm
her name.
assuming-
Oh, I mean, you got a wild stalker on your hands.
Yeah, because I'm
I'm fine with
assuming
that.
Druid of the Claw would be, Feral Druid or something. I don't know. Maybe Wild Stalker would be Cat Druid and Druid of the Claw would be the bear.
The bear.
The bear.
About
The bear.
The bear.
Sorry, I'm like nerding out over here. It's
No,
like,
it's good.
whoa.
This
No,
is
that's
good.
awesome.
We love it.
We are a
Oh.
nerd show, so nerding out is fantastic.
And
we
do you-
stand nerding out. Yes.
And another thing that they changed too,
One
where they're-
more thing.
and one more thing.
and
But
another
wait,
one.
there's more.
So remember when you went to the Great Vault in Veldragon?
Yes.
So you know how they had one slot for PvP and PvP related stuff?
Vaguely, yeah.
They're scrubbing that and replacing it with world activity.
Mm.
Well, good.
Yes. And then we're also getting warbands
Very nice.
and being able to unlock transmog with any character.
Ooh. See, I was more about the pretty shiny stuff like that than I was like go and kill things.
So let's say you're going into a dungeon or a raid and you want like a certain set for, let's say, your priest or whatever, and you can only run a raid like once a day or whatever. So you can literally pick up an item or tier set, or I think, right? You can pick up and equip something and then have it like be able to get worn by your, like, let's say it's warrior tier. You pick it up on your priest, you can quote unquote have it, and then when you start using your warrior, you can start wearing that transmog because you had it or acquired it on one of your characters.
Mm.
So it'll be easier to farm it rather than being like waiting a week just to get something.
Needless to say, there's going to be a lot of blizzarding going on within the UDP broadcast. At least two of us, maybe some barcode action. So yeah,
I can hide. I can hide the computer.
no.
No, all you have. Hey, Nord, don't you have a cell phone?
God damn it.
Hey, just go with the
If
rumble.
you can't get your kicks on World of Warcraft, you have the Rumble option.
That's right. Nah, not the streaming platform or the
No. And not Pokemon Rumble, but Warcraft Rumble.
I like Pokemon. No, no, I don't. I'm lying.
Let's go ahead and
It
get
was
this.
it was a fun game. It was a fun game. I
But
played it.
The brick wall came so fast, though.
Yeah, I kind of dropped it after like 10 days.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and finish this up. Crit, what's going on this week?
It's my last week of working at my second job. Yay!
Nice.
Woo!
After that happens, I'm probably going to start putting my piercings back in.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Barcode, what you got going on this week besides work?
Work, and murdering children in Baldur's Gate.
Perfect.
I'm glad you added Baldur's Gate. Thank you so much for our lessons that we've learned.
Yes. I mean, I only commit horrible like crimes against humanity in video games, so
Fair.
otherwise it would affect my pension, and I kind of like it.
Yeah.
Well, that pretty much concludes this chat. Thanks for hanging out. We're gonna go see Seta over on Seta BDA.
Woo,
They are playing Pokemon
too.
right now.
Yay,
So
let's
yeah.
go.
So we're gonna
Let's
go
go,
ahead and do
Bug.
that. So other than that, stay tuned. Next week, our new show time is at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's 8:30 Eastern and
our
5:30 in PST.
And American viewers, don't forget, you fall back tonight, get some extra sleeps.
Yep. Until then, let's go enjoy
Yay.
some Pokemans.
Woo!
Someone had an alarm going off.
That was me.
Like we made just in
That's
time.
Oh, wait.
And scene.
Oh.
All right.
We're going in.